Shobodu is my name, and welcome to Leadership in 30 Minutes. This is Leadership in 30 Minutes, and on Leadership in 30 Minutes, as our custom is, we'll be examining yet another dimension of leadership. Our commitment is how to ensure that you do leadership right, that I do leadership right, and most of all, we are developing ourselves and indeed our capacity to lead, leveraging the truth. And at Emet Leadership Academy, truth is found in the Word of God. So today, I'll be speaking on something that should interest you as a leader. I hope it won't be an indictment on your approach to leadership. But if it is, my intention is not to indict you. My intention is to call your attention to yet another important dimension of that crucial responsibility called leadership. All right. So today I'll be speaking on let your presence be felt. Let your presence be felt. Or if you like, make your presence felt. Make your presence felt. Dear leader, make your presence felt. There's a book I love, the title of the book, and it was written by a friend, Akinropo Akinola, and, he was a parenting book. So in a sense, it's a leadership kind of book. And the title was, Father, where are you? All right. Father, where are you? So, borrowing from that framework, I said, leader, where are you? Or perhaps more appropriately, leader, where have you been? Where have you been? All right. Now, it's very common for, leaders to wonder at times when their team is not pulling its weight, when they are not getting the kind of results that they were expecting from their team, when the goals are not being met or the target appear, to be, the team generally is underperforming, and they're wondering what's wrong with these guys, where have things gone wrong? Why is it that they're not just stepping up to the plate and showing, themselves strong? Now, one of the things I teach about leaders is that every time you notice that something is not going wrong, all right, it's not really about your team. It's most likely about you. All right. And that's something that I practice. Whenever something just doesn't fall into place in line with my expectation, instead of looking for who to blame, instead of looking externally as if the problem had to do with someone, somewhere, something, somewhere, I like to look inwards. I like to ask myself first, am I the problem? Is there something I'm not doing? Is there something that I'm missing? And almost all the time, it's always, with me, it's always about the leader. It's seldom about the follower. All right. Ultimately, the leader, that aspect of leadership, okay, also confirms that the buck still stops on the table of the leader. So many times, your people are not the ones who are not pulling their weight. There's an input that is missing from your end. All right. And that probably explains why, they are not performing. So you need to look at yourself. You need to look at yourself. And so today, I want to draw your attention, to something that is very crucial. And you may have been missing it. And that is your presence. Your presence. And I'm asking you as the leader, is your presence felt in your team? Are you making your presence felt? in your team? Do your people really know that they have a leader? That leader is part of their team, is a member of their team, is an active player within the team? Or have you been conducting yourself in the way, portraying yourself as the head of the team, portraying yourself as the one who is right up there, and that everybody else is reporting to you? Actually, some leaders don't consider themselves to be an integral part of the team. All right, so they're sort of detached. The way they look at the team is that the team reports to them. All right, and that's a shame. If you ever have adopted that mindset, or that view, or that approach, to leadership, to your leadership role, it's time you change it. You are a member of your team. Your team should not be separate from you. You are the head of the team. You are not excluded when we talk about your team. All right? There is no leader without followers. So don't look at yourself as head and everybody else is reporting to you. Once that happens, you are starting on a very wrong note. And if you have been doing that today, it's time to change. You are an integral, bona fide member of your team, and you should play actively in the team. You should play actively in the team. So what am I saying? I'm saying today that the chances are that as a leader, you have been missing in action. Your presence is not felt in your team. They know you are the leader. They know you are the big boss. But that's where it ends. And they know, all right, that you can back and that you can make demands and you can reel out targets. But that's all they know. Do they feel your presence beyond all of that? Do they feel your presence in a way that encourages them, in a way that empowers them, in a way that makes them comfortable and confident to pursue the objectives and the goals of the team? Can you beat your chest as the leader and say, well, yes, I am present. I've always been present. My people know that I'm present. It's important that the leader is present. You see, leadership is a journey. It's a journey that you as the leader is taking each one of your people on. And there is a destination. Even if the destination, the primary destination, is a better version, all right, of each of your people. That's the transformation that you are expected to deliver to them. But it's a journey. So imagine embarking on a journey, and the one who is responsible for the journey, who is taking another on the journey, is missing. Imagine. I mean, who will feel comfortable like that? Who will feel comfortable with a leader saying, okay, don't worry, just go ahead, I'll meet you along the way? Who will feel comfortable? It's a journey that involves the leader and the follower. And both of them must be active on that journey, because both of them have active roles to play on the journey. All right. Yes, the follower is heavily dependent on the leader. That's how it's supposed to be. But the leader also needs the collaboration, the cooperation of the follower in the leadership relationship, which is a journey to value added. Okay, everyone has a role to play. No one should be missing. The presence of the leader especially must be felt. The presence of the leader must be felt. I want to borrow from something that happened. borrowed from the case of Moses, who was a leader, of leaders. All right. And he had an encounter with God, and, God was taking them somewhere. And he said to God, I'm sorry, don't let us go. We don't want to go. I won't go except your presence goes with us. Except your presence goes with us. He understood the importance of the presence of the leader. All right. The destination that the leader is taking the follower to is not known by the follower. The follower has not been there before. So you want to give your follower confidence. You want your follower to truly commit to you. All right. You want to get all the cooperation that you need. You must be present. You must be present on that journey. You must be present. Your follower won't go if you are not present. Your follower won't have the confidence, all right, to proceed even if you give directions. Your follower will not have a rest of mind if your presence is not felt. And when that is the case, what kind of performance are you then expecting from your follower? What kind of performance? Of course, you'll be disappointed. Of course, they will perform below expectation. Why? Because your presence is not there. Your input is not felt. And it is very crucial. Everybody is depending on you. All right? Everyone following is looking up to you. You can't sit and be an armchair leader. An armchair leader is not present in the team. Is to all intents and purposes absent. And when you are not there, what are you expecting? What are you expecting? All right? Your presence, your people need your presence to go with them at all times. And that doesn't mean that you have to be with them physically. All right? And so that's the next thing I'm going to explore. So how do you make your presence felt with your people at all times? How do you make your presence felt as a leader? It's a responsibility that you are called to. It will do you a lot of good. But how do you make your presence felt? How do you make your presence felt? All right. So we're going to start first is the physical interaction is important. You must be seen around your team. You must be seen interacting with members of your team. It's not just about sitting on your desk in your office, in your cozy office. You must, interact with the team physically. All right. Walk to people's offices, walk to their seats, chat with people. All right. Let them see you, see them at work. It's important. Very, very important. The presence of the leader physically, it's important. Part of the physical presence is also going on, calls with them. Getting involved with some of the things they do practically to observe, to support. All right. If you were, in banking, for example, maybe you are a relationship manager or a business development person. You don't sit in the office just because you have a team. You join them on calls, visit customers with them. All right. So you are there with them physically. You can observe what it is they're doing. You can support them. You can also show them how things should be done. You can observe what their challenges are. All right. So that you can address them. When you relate and interact with your people like that, they feel your presence. It gives them confidence. It gives them rest. And the more of such you are able to do, all right, the greater the benefit that you can accrue, all right, for the team. When your people are confident, when they are restful, they tend to get things done. They tend to do more, actually. And so the physical presence is important. That's one way that you make your presence felt. Another way you make your presence felt is that ensure that you are close to the people. You are not too far away. And not just that you are close, all right? Proximity is important. Accessibility is important as well. And in this day and age, proximity again does not necessarily mean physically, all right? With, virtual sessions that can hold all kinds of technologies right now, you can be very close to your people. You are just one, Zoom call away, or one Google Meet, call away, all right, to your people. You're just one WhatsApp message away. Just, there are different ways right now by which, you can interact with people, with your people. But there has to be, they must know that you're accessible. There are some leaders, their office can even be around the corner or on the same floor, but their people are not bold enough, all right, to see the leader. The leader is not available. The leader is not accessible, all right. Somehow create some kind of boundary, so that people have to psych themselves up before they can see the leader. If you are that kind of leader, you should quit doing things like that. Break down all those barriers. Give your people access to you. Accessibility, all right, to you, coupled with proximity, will make your presence felt. Will make your presence felt. You must run an open door, a truly open door kind of, arrangement. I mean, you are leading people. Why should they not be able to access you? Why should they not be able to look in the door and say, sir, can I have a moment of your time? All right. That's how your presence is being felt. That's how your presence is being felt. Even God himself said, let us come boldly to the throne of grace. Can you imagine? That's the kind of access. That's the kind of thing that you need to give your people. I'll let them come boldly with confidence, knowing that anytime they show up with you, they will get your attention. Anytime they want to see you, they would have access to you. Even if you can't see them, all right, they know that it's either because you're engaged or something, but you would ultimately revert to them and listen to them, hear what they have to say, and you'll be able to offer, help or support as they may require. Those things are important. When your people, feel like that about you, when you operate with them in that manner, they feel your presence. They feel your presence. All right. Number 3 is teaching and empowerment. Teaching and empowerment. Now, if you are a leader who is what his or her sword, you must be a teacher, because leaders are teachers. You must be a teacher. Your people are under you because you are supposed to develop them. There is no better way to develop people than to share your knowledge with them. And that you have to do as a matter of course. That you have to do deliberately. Deliberately. My people hear my voice and they follow me. All right? That's the trick. That's a secret. But many leaders, the voice that the people hear is just instruction. No, that's not leadership. Leadership, yes, there is instruction, but there is a place for teaching. All right? The way the leader communicates, there are at least 4 things that you want to accomplish. All right? You want to teach principles. All right? You want to, also, communicate in a manner that if you need to discipline people, you discipline them. You also want to communicate in a manner as to correct your people whenever they go wrong. All right? And to discipline and correct are different things. Of course, even although they are somewhat related or interwoven, if you like. And then, of course, you give instructions. But instructions on the right way of doing things. Instructions on the right way of doing things. So, and teaching is a source of empowerment. That's how you empower your people. Why does teaching contribute to presence of the leader? Because when you teach, in the course of carrying out the assignments, your people remember what you have taught. So as it were, you are present. They are asking themselves when they face particular situations, what will Oga have done? What will the master have done? What will the leader have done? What will the boss have done? All right. They are guided. So, yes, you are not there physically, but you are there by way of the knowledge you have imparted to them, by way of the things they have learned from you. And so, as they act on them, all right, they feel your presence. They feel your presence. And, that means they are engaging the power that you transfer to them, because knowledge is power. So teaching and empowerment. You want your people to feel your presence at every opportunity you find. Take advantage and create teachable moments. Times where you share vital knowledge, things that you know, that you observe that they don't know. You share with them, you empower them. That's how you deal. You can't be doing that and your people feel that you are missing in action. No. All right. So that's number 3. Number 4, you must be to them a guide or a guardian and a counselor. All right. So you must constantly, as much as they need, provide guidance, all right, and provide counsel. Very important. Very important. Oh, you can say, well, but I teach and all of that. Well, yes, but there's a place for teaching, there's a place for counsel. They are not quite the same thing. When it comes to teaching, it's dissemination of knowledge. When it comes to counsel, it's a more specific guidance that is provided to resolve specific issues or in specific situations. So I can teach you things generally, all right, different aspects of what we do, but suppose in the course of your work, you encounter some bottleneck or some obstacle, all right, and you don't know how to get around it. Then you reach out to me, all right. At that point, we're dealing with a specific issue. So it's not so much a knowledge issue. It's now, a counsel issue, because the concept of counsel is that it's related to a particular situation or a particular issue. All right. It's the application of knowledge, but what it often signals is that you don't have, your knowledge is not sufficient to deal with the situation. And so you need my experience, all right, my added insight, my, deeper understanding as a leader to show you how to get things done. So you must also be there as a guide, as a counselor. When that is assured, when your people interact with you at that level, they feel your presence. Now, part of this counseling also will touch on emotional challenges that your people may have. Because from time to time, we are human beings. We have emotional challenges. And when your people have emotional challenges, it will stand in the way of their ability to get their work done. When you are, emotionally challenged, it stands in the way of your productivity. So at that point, you must be able to identify what's going on as a leader. You must be able to offer some counsel or support that will bring counsel, requisite counsel, to bear on the people at that time. Now, you tell me, if your leader relates with you in that manner, will you complain that the leader's presence is not being felt? Of course not. Of course not. But is that what you do? All right. Is that what many leaders do? No. And that's why we're talking about this today. That's where they're missing it. That's where they're missing it. Okay. So number 5, is also that you must from time to time ensure that you encourage your people and reassure them. They need encouragement. They need reassurance. They need, kind words from you. They need, words that show that you believe in them. You have faith in them. You know they can get things done. You appreciate their commitment. Those things are important. They make your presence felt. They make your presence felt. It's not backing down instructions every time. It's not telling people off every time. It's not expressing disappointment every time. What about the times that, they've done well? What about the need to encourage them? All right? It's important. Don't wait until people produce results before you express faith in them, because you encourage them. Because before you acknowledge, all right, the efforts that they're putting in. That's the mistake we often make. We're waiting until, the appraisal time come and we say, okay, well done and all of that. No. While we are still on, and by the way, every day should be an appraisal day, in a sense, encourage them. Let them know that you are taking note of their efforts. Let them know. And as often as you can, reassure them. Reassure them. As often as you can, reassure them. In fact, it would be a useful thing to do here also is to ask them if they need assistance. Ask them where they're having challenges. Ask them in what other ways you can be of help. All right? Call them at times to let them give you an update as to how they are doing, how well, they're on top of their job, what it is that they need to improve. Create those kinds of interactions. It helps, all right, it helps them to feel your presence. It helps them to feel your presence. All right, number 6, communicate your expectations continuously. Let them know what you're expecting. Of course, let them know what you're promising as well. All right, so that, this relationship, each party must know what's in it for them. Okay, so you must continue to communicate. Communication is key. But your expectations, what are you expecting from them? What are you expecting from the group? They must know. What are you offering the group? All right, what are you offering each person? What is each person going to become under your leadership? They must know. They must know. That's another way by which they feel your presence. And finally, my last point here, so I've given you 6 already, this number 7, you must be providing solutions. You must be providing solution. A leader must be a solution provider. A leader must be a solution provider. When the chips are down and the people don't know what to do, you must come through for them. Whatever you need to do, you must make sure you come through for them. You must make sure you come through for them. All right? I mean, you must be like a last resort. When they have done all and they just can't figure out a way, you must, as a leader, be the one who figures out the way. You must. You must be the one who knows what we must do. All right? To get a solution to the issue that they have brought. Again, the buck stops on your table. Don't tell me, please, that the leader cannot know everything. I haven't suggested that the leader must know everything. No. The leader need not know everything. But one thing the leader must know is how to solve a particular problem. And solving a particular problem need not be the handiwork of the leader. It can be, getting somebody else who can solve the problem. There are many ways to solve a problem. The problem we always have is people think that they must be the one to solve the problem. No. And that's why we get things mixed up and we say, the leader doesn't know everything. If the leader does not know everything and your people are stuck, so who are we going to go to? Who will we go to? Are we going to look for another leader? Or we're going to come to you? The people will come to you. I mean, you are the one leading the team. You have ultimate responsibility. And it will be a shame if you don't know what to do. It will be a shame. It will be a shame. That's why, I love that. It's a favorite scripture of mine. So, bear with me. John 6 and verse 6, it said, and he himself knew what he would do. He himself knew what you. That's a place that I always aspire to be as a leader. All right. It's not out of pride. It is not letting my people down when it matters most. It is not letting my people down when it matters most. It is standing up, all right, and true to that name called leader. Because a leader cannot afford to get lost. I mean, imagine a leader. What does it mean? Literally, you are taking people somewhere. Presumably, the person who is taking others to a destination, should he not know the destination? It's assumed that he knows the destination. That's why they are following you. And so you now get to a place, you say it's a crossroad, and you don't know what to do. Wow. What a leader. Can we call that person a leader, or should we go and look for somebody else? No, that person cannot be a leader. But like I said, don't be scared, because I guess some people say that because they feel it's a heavy weight of responsibility. Well, yes, it's true. Leadership involves a weight of responsibility. And many people don't know it. That's why a lot of people are quick to criticize leaders. But leadership is a weight, it's not a piece of cake. All right. But since you have embraced it and you have opted to carry the burden, then you must know that all you need to do is to develop the capacity to be a problem solver. And that means you must continue to learn. Your pursuit of knowledge must not wane. There is no time that a leader stops learning. Because the solution, to this issue is knowledge. Is knowledge. All right. And one of the ways that you can be helped is that for the leader also to have a network of counselors, have a network of people you can call. In the midst of many counselors, there is safety. Counselors are there. People you can call, mentors, those you have worked with, leaders, all right? Friends who are also have demonstrated that they have capacity to lead. They are all available as resources for you. So when we talk about the leader knowing what to do, is not that you have everything inside of you. No, is that you know how to get solutions when it matters most. That's a critical skill that, every leader should invest in. So those are the 7 ways by which, you can make your presence felt. And it's important to make your presence felt. If you make your presence felt in your team will perform beyond their expectations. If your team do not feel that they are orphans, if team members don't feel they are orphans, all right, that they just have a leader, but a leader that they can't relate to, a leader whose presence is never felt, if they don't feel that they are orphans, then you will see how well that, they will perform. You will see how excited they would be. Stop playing missing in action. Stop playing missing in action. Sitting in your office, being around every day is not presence as far as your team is concerned. Your team needs to feel your presence in tangible and concrete ways, in ways that add value, in ways that they can't easily forget that they have a leader who is to the team a most valuable, easily accessible resource. If you will do that, you won't have to complain about your team, because your team will be there for you, fully committed to doing whatever they need to do to make sure that as a team you succeed, and that you, as their leader, you know that you are proud of them. You have something to be proud about them. And so that's it for today's edition of Leadership in 30 Minutes. Make your presence felt. Let your people feel your presence. Okay? That's what we have been talking about today. And I hope you have been able to pick something from there. I hope that, it's been worth your while. If it has been, thank you for joining. If it has not, hopefully next time I'll be speaking to a subject that will be of, greater interest to you. But I'm sure that I'm sure, this must have come to you. My sessions are inspired, by the Spirit of God. And so I know somebody out there needs to hear what we've just talked about. And if that is you, great, my job is done, even if it's just one person. But I suppose that there will be more than one. By the way, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, to the channel. Feel free to share the links, share the videos with others. Let others hear the same thing, learn the same thing. And it will be nice to also have their perspectives. And don't forget, make comments. Let's have your feedback so that we can know what more you would like us to examine, or what aspects we need to modify. All right. But it's always a pleasure coming to you on Leadership in 30 Minutes, and I've enjoyed every bit of it today. Also, meet me on Monday when it will be time for leadership, Leadership Monday. And yes, there was Leadership Monday this week. And what did I speak on this week? You want to check that out on the channel, and you will discover what our focus was. I was speaking actually about leaders being strange conduits. Leaders being strange conduits. Strange conduits in what sense? Check out the video, all right, in the channel. And last week I spoke about where is your proof. On Leadership in 30 Minutes, where is your proof? You say you are a leader, there's a door to leadership effectiveness. Where is your proof? All right, you can check them out. And see you again on Monday, by the grace of God. It's 10 a.m. West African time. I'll be live speaking on a specific nugget that will help you to do leadership right. God bless you, and have a wonderful week, or at least what remains of it. Bye-bye. Take care.